Remind me if I don't get to one of those.
Okay. Are we there now?
We are live.
Hello.
Good day. I mean, it was sunny, and so I guess it's going back and forth.
Well, they were saying no sun, so liars.
I always thought I didn't care about it until I haven't had it for sometimes days on end. I'm like, yeah, I really do miss the sun. I get some sort of, it's like Superman. You know, I get my energy from the sun. Hi, good morning. We are thinking about some things to maybe talk about tomorrow. And this is a story we've been sitting on for a minute. And so many things now are coming from TikTok, these trends or these suggestions or these stories or challenges. And this one person on TikTok was talking about apparently Bath and Body Works. And I've shopped there for my wife, but I don't shop there now. But apparently they've got a return policy on things like candles where I think if you're unhappy with it, you can just return it. This TikToker was saying that they basically use almost the entire candle, like burn the whole thing down and then take it in and say, yeah, unhappy with this. I'd like to swap them.
Shut up. After they've already used it for the most part.
Right. To me, that's like the equivalent of like wearing jeans for to work for a couple of weeks and being like, yeah, they're not really my style.
Now, I know that like companies like Proactive, you can actually send back the empty bottles if you're not happy, and they will.
The acne treatment?
Mm-hmm. Or any of their line, Rodan and Fields, the same thing. You can send back it can be completely empty, and they're like, okay, we'll take it back, and they'll pay you back. Minus shipping, obviously.
Yeah, well. So I was just wondering, I'm like, is there any other thing like that where people take advantage of it, or is there anything wrong with that? If they stayed in there, okay, I'll give you another example. I stayed at a motel. It wasn't even a hotel. It was a microtel. And
what's that?
Is the name of the chain, Microtel.
Okay.
Don't know why. And I remember checking, and I didn't even pay for my visit. It just got hired somewhere. And I was staying there for up to 14 days. And I remember seeing a sign behind the counter that said, if you're unhappy for any reason, you won't pay for your stay. And I remember thinking, and I was young, I was like 21. I remember thinking if I had been paying for myself, anything, huh? Like if I'm unhappy, but I've been here for 2 weeks straight, and the bill ended up being like $500-$600. But I remember thinking, so do I just say, sorry, I didn't enjoy my stay, and the sheets were gross or whatever, I don't want to pay for it? Like at what point does somebody say,
TV wasn't quite big enough?
It's like when you go to the buffet and it's all you can eat, but then they say, well, it's not really all you can eat.
Yeah.
There's rules on that. So
is there like some super, super fine print? When we say any, that excludes X, Y, and Z.
Anytime you see an asterisk.
Exactly.
Anything that seems too good to be true, and there's a bit of punctuation next to it,
Any asterisks, you need to go and read the fine print.
And anything, yeah. Shoot, even the contest we do on the station, sometimes if you look at the rules or whatever, like there's always, something. But that's why I got to read the rules. Got to read the policy. But yeah, just curious if anybody knows of anybody who takes advantage of return. I've tried it. There was something else I was thinking of. Dang it. I've heard, I don't know if this is true or not, that at Amazon, maybe you told me, depending on the value of whatever it was, if you get something and you're unhappy with it, or it's under a certain value, they'll just tell you to keep it because it's cheaper.
Really?
And then them paying to ship it back. But I could see how somebody would take advantage of that too and just order a bunch of cheap stuff and but I think they're smart enough they'd flag it at some point and be like, wait a second, you don't like the 5th air fryer you bought this month?
You get an air fryer.
Yeah. Casper, the beds that come in the box. Have you ever heard of Casper? Casper.
The only Casper I've heard of is the friendly ghost.
Okay. It's a different Casper. They have a policy. It's true policy. And I don't know if they've changed it yet, but when you buy a mattress from them, it comes in a box to your house, and you have 90 days that you can sleep on it.
Okay.
And if day 89 you don't like it, you can let them know, and they will arrange for somebody to come pick it up, and then you can get a different mattress.
What?
Brand new. And I don't know what they do with them. I don't know if they throw them away or donate. I don't know how it works.
I can see if they said we'll come and get it and then we're done. This relationship is over. But to bring you another one,
I think that's part of the deal is that you get another one. I don't think you get a refund. I think you get a different one. But when I bought mine, you could do it twice. So then you have another 90 days, I think, on the second mattress. So in theory, you could have 3 mattresses for the price of one. And but that's just and you don't have to haul it away. Like they arrange for like Junk Be Gone or somebody to come pick it up for you. So
Junk Be Gone.
You know Junk Be Gone. You never had somebody come and pick up like something heavy from your house or that you're getting rid of?
No, I've never heard of Junk Be Gone. We could have used them.
Yeah. It's one of those
Please
places
come to my house now. We got plenty of junk.
Yeah, they'll pick it up, and here's the thing. They charge you for it, for whatever amount of space you're going to use on their truck. And then I don't know this, but I'm pretty sure whatever they do with it, they probably try to make money off it, too. So if there's like metals or something, why not? I just think it's a fascinating business model. We'll charge you to do this thing, and then we'll still make money off of it. So, God, I had a return story for you that I can't remember. Some weird policy. I don't know. I just think
I have found more and more people that did not know that whole Amazon taking it back to Kohl's
you've
thing.
been sharing that with folks?
Yes. And people are, every time I tell people, they're like, what? I'm like, yep.
Yeah. So what Mindy's talking about, in case you didn't know, at Amazon, at Kohl's, they've got a partnership with Amazon. And if you buy something from Amazon you don't like, you know how it's like a big hassle and you got to like repackage it and print out the label and take it to a FedEx or whatever. Kohl's, and I'm sure there's restrictions, but they've got a section in the store, I think in almost all their stores, where you can walk in and you can take your Amazon return. I don't think you even need the packaging.
And then on top of it, they'll give you like Kohl's cash because they want you to spend some money before you leave.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
It's one of the coolest partnerships.
Yeah.
And because you had asked the question, what's in it for Kohl's? Well, you have to go way into the store, right? It's like going to buy the milk at a grocery store.
Right.
Like it ain't at the front of the store. And then you're in there and you're in, like I said, Kohl's land, which like hooks you in. And you're like, you know what? I do need that weird gift that nobody ever needs. They've got the most random like stuff you don't need but you want.
Yes.
All those stores like.
Well, and they always have their major sales. It's the biggest sale of the season. Again.
You know that you have a lot of sales.
I think there's 12 seasons.
When all your stuff is a digital like price, like you have to change it often. Let's see. Let's hit ESG. We do commercial free cash again when you were. Got a little bit of a heat wave in central Indiana today, a high of 44. Ooh, I know. Balmy is the word I would use. It's Joey and Mindy on 97.1 Hank FM. So if you're going to be outside trying to enjoy that, maybe you go running or go for a walk. It is a little brisk, but even so, take us with you. Download the Hank FM app, and we are there with you. And make sure you're listening, by the way, at 12:50. Because that's the exact time that Kara is going to announce today's commercial-free cash winner. If it's your name and you call back in 10 minutes or less, you get $500. Oh, boy. Oh, what was the platonic relationship thing
that is now the new trend? And it reminds me of the movie "The Mirror Has Two Faces" or something like that with Barbara Streisand. I think it's Jeff Daniels and 1997.
I recall. Yeah,
he marries her, just as friends, and then she wants more. But that's the new thing is just no romance at all. Just marrying your friend.
So marrying.
Even marrying, yes.
Oh.
Both.
So you're getting okay. It's like another version of friends with benefits. So you're taking advantage of.
But you're not getting the benefits part.
No, that's not what I'm saying. No, I mean the like tax benefits and like
Yes,
and
probably, I guess.
and the benefits of being married, because I think there's some benefits.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have something that you always have someone to take with you to various
but
things.
The married thing feels like a step. Maybe that's the reason we're talking about it. It feels like a little step too far.
Yeah,
Because, well, I think societally, marriage means something beyond platonic, usually.
Right.
Unless it eventually can get to the platonic phase, I suppose.
well, and a lot of it comes from the fact that more variations of marriage are possible now.
Mm-hmm.
So there are couples that are two girlfriends, they're just best friends. They're like, you know what, we don't like men. We're ticked off at them, so let's just you and I be a couple. And they don't. It's not romance at all.
Huh.
And so
Fascinating, yeah. Yeah, that is.
But you could be right. It could be could be related to tax benefits and so forth. And
I mean, I'm thinking. Okay, so let's ask it this way: what? You could just Google this. What benefit does one have? Okay, let's say it's me and we're married, but me and my girlfriend at the time, and we're living together, and we've been together for Simon Cowell, for example. We've been together forever. Like, aside from the meaning of the ring and all of that stuff, like, what literal benefits are there to being married? Like advantages to it, or are they few and far between? Do you know what I'm saying? Or are there more like? I'm not trying to be funny here, but are there more like traps when you get married than that you have to deal with? I'm just trying to figure out, like, why would you want to? What is the reason to be legally married? Like, what are the benefits aside from like taxes and?
Well, think about it. If for example, if something happens to one of them, and they're in the hospital, you wouldn't be able to go in as next of kin.
Point. It's all legal stuff.
Correct.
So, or if someone sadly passes away,
yes,
you get. I don't say you get their stuff, but
I mean, you could make them the beneficiary anyway. But then there's if it was an accident and you hadn't gotten a will together or anything like that, automatically
it just makes things easier.
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesse says tax benefits, right. Yeah, and I don't mean to sound so stupid, but, No,
I mean, it's some of those things that you don't necessarily think
like
of.
what comes with it that you can't get if you're not married. That's really the question.
Right.
Interesting. Yeah, it just sounds like a roommate to me.
And that's just it. That's what when I read it, I'm like, that's what my ex-husband and I became. We're just roommates, and that's why I wanted out. I'm like, I need romance in my life. So I couldn't do it.
I feel like I've heard about these though before, or maybe I knew someone.
Well, obviously it was, they made a whole movie out of that whole concept.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Where people, they were just together all the time. They were just like, let's just get. Who was that? Well, I don't know. I didn't know them clearly. But like Michael Jackson and Debbie Rowe got married.
Right.
And I don't.
I don't think they had actual
relations. Depends on who you ask, but right. But I think they were friends. They had been friends.
Right.
And I think there's, I don't know. I'm not saying they weren't lovers, but it's just an interesting. It just sounds like a.
Well, it's interesting when they did this, when they were we were doing this study, and a lot of the some of the reasons people were giving, it's like that they want that definite companion, and they're like, this leaves out the drama of the romance, which I don't think romance has to be drama, but that was a lot of the times their reasoning behind it.
But here, my thinking is. We talked about friend breakups yesterday. What if you get married to somebody and then you're just not friends anymore? That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That seems like a mess.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I like hearing myself talk. I like when. Please watch more of me while we're talking.
I want to be able to see the comments.
I only see 2, so I don't know. That's okay. We know you're there. Maybe we could talk about that tomorrow and just say, is anybody?
Would that be would that be something you would consider?
Would you do it? Do you know anybody who's in a platonic relationship who got married because of the benefits that come with?
Right, and did it? And then if you did it eventually lead to falling for that person? I mean, think about the arranged marriages of the day. Those are people that didn't even know each other, and so and then a lot of times they eventually did fall in love.
Yeah.
And I always think of Fiddler on the Roof, and the whole
Sunrise, sunset.
yes.
Yeah. Rolling 97 minutes of commercial-free new country. Feels so good. No commercials on your radio. We're going to make room for Sean Copeland. I'm not trying to make it weird. Let's not make it weird. Listen again at 1:10 today. We got your chance to win ASG tickets.
No, remember there's that song in the play and movie where he asks, "Do you love me?" And she's like questioning it, and she goes, "Well, after 35 years of washing your clothes and cooking for you, I guess I do love you." It's like,
I was in Fiddler on the Roof.
You were? My brother was in it.
I played a...
he was the oldest guy, I think.
I played a Russian soldier. In the bar, there was a bar scene, and I was the one who had the solo, who stood up in the bar and sang the loud note, which I still remember.
Oh, you never forget those things.
But it was... let's see if I can find the scene in the movie. But basically, it's like... heaven bless you both, Nostrovia. And then there's this whole like dance that starts.
Did you have to do the whole?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You must have had strong thighs.
Thank you. That's what I was known by in school. Joey Strong Thighs Tack. Mr. Quad. No. I was young, and it was.
Okay, that sounds like we're going somewhere else. You needed the money.
And it was. I'm concerned. It was. I don't know how much can be seen right here, but it was this.
Olivia, can we see him?
Arms, it's enough, I suppose. And the arms were out like this, right? Mm-hmm. And then it was.
Yeah.
This, right? And you'd have to and it was not as hard. Like I could do it now too, but it wasn't all that hard.
So you'd have to do the whole squatting and up.
Oh no, we didn't.
That's what I thought you were doing. So I'm like, I am impressed.
No, we had these silky kind of pants on, and then I had probably like a hat with a puffy hat.
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
I remember doing it, and in rehearsal, I just remember getting about halfway through in here, and I ripped the pants. I think it was rehearsal, and I ripped them because I was getting it all the way up here, And
nice.
It was like boom, boom, boom. But no, we never did the.
That's what I was picturing. No. I'm like, holy cow, whole new respect.
We did the. No, I don't think we did those. But
I think you'd recall if you did.
No, I think we. How they simplified it for us clearly, but I remember I had that note. And you're supposed to be grabbing the attention of the bar or whatever, and I would hold that note as long as I could, and it got kind of obnoxious. Like they would say, "Just let it go," and I'm like, "Okay," and I'd hold it so long that people were listening, and then they started laughing, and then they got quiet again, then they started laughing again because
that's awesome.
Do you know what I'm saying? Where it's like it's going on a little too long,
right?
And so yeah, that was cool. I don't remember.
You didn't do the big and go right back to doing the note again, did you?
Yeah. But I was in those musicals, and here's the thing I've never said out loud. I was in that and Fiddler on the Music Man.
I was in Music Man.
And
played Zanita.
I'm dead serious.
Gods.
Wow, yeah. Jesse was the mayor in Music Man. Jesse's watching right now. To this day, I still can't really... I know a little bit more about Music Man, but I never really understood the plot even while I was in the musical. I just didn't care. I memorized my thing, but I never really knew what was going on. Same with Fiddler on the Roof. I couldn't tell you what it's about. Swear to God. It's like...
Now, this was what, high school, or were you doing community theater? See, mine was always community theater. So there were actual adults, professional actors that were coming back and doing stuff with us.
I don't remember it. I don't know. And in middle school, I played, and every year we had plays.
Yeah.
Right? And I was in all of those.
Nice.
But again, I never really knew. I don't think I read through the thing. I think I just read what I needed to learn, and that was it.
Yeah, I couldn't read through a script necessarily, but you'd be at rehearsal and you'd see the rest of it. I mean, so.
Yeah, I remember things. It's like, I feel like literally need to go watch the movie to understand what it's about. I could not explain to you what Fiddler on the Roof is about.
What?
I could not tell you what it's about, and I was in it. Music Man, what I can tell you about Music Man is the general concept that he comes to town,
Yes.
76 trombones and all. And he's
No,
like,
he's a salesman. He's a shyster.
Yeah.
He doesn't plan on really bringing anything. So he just plans
that's
on
it. That's all
selling
I
and
got.
taking off.
And then something happens. That's it. That's all I can tell you
Wow.
about. Yeah.
So you don't realize in Fiddler on the Roof why they all have to leave?
No, I have no idea.
It's all about the whole Jewish
No
Holocaust.
idea.
Oh my God!
Had no idea. I promise
Wow.
you. That's like me with song lyrics. I don't pay attention. So there are songs that I'm just like, had no idea.
That's me, but that's just because I don't hear things well. Like, or I hear what I want. I'm like, I hear what I want to hear. So
couldn't tell you. I had no idea it had to do with the Holocaust or anything.
that's what the end. They're all having to get away. They're having to run away because they're.
Not a clue. Not
Wow.
even a remote clue that that's what that's all about. And then I'm trying to think if anything else. Like, I wasn't in Greece, but I watched the movie enough.
I was in
That's
Greece.
kind of what you did. Well, Greece had a resurgence in the 90s, so it was always popular, but the mega mix
That's
came
when
out.
I was in it. Actually, it was
So
in the 90s.
I know that. Like, I watched that as a fan of it, but like these other ones, couldn't tell you. I think I also did a little bit of Jesus Christ Superstar, although I know that story better. I know what that's all about.
I was in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and I had not known that story, from the Bible until.
Is that him and his brothers and the parable of
Yes. Yeah. I did not know that story until I was in that show. Now I know it forwards and backwards. So it's.
Well, let's end today's broadcast with a prayer. And, hey, thanks for joining. We'll see you tomorrow morning. We'll try to talk about some of this stuff. Have a good one, okay?